Thank you very much for that. I needed I'm sure it's going to be perfect. Yeah. I'm sure it's all perfect. Oh yeah.
Aloha, everyone. And mele kalikimaka, too. And all that good stuff. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. If you don't know me, I'm Reverend Rita. This is Reverend Patrick behind me. And Jeremy and Amy brought music for us today. And we welcome you all here to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. And what we like to do is, we like to start. Oh, first I wanted to say one thing. And that is, we are so excited because this past week we were able to purchase, due to a generous donation from Richard and Joan Morgan, a flat screen TV. And yeah, so we're going to start. We started our first spiritual cinema night on Friday night, but we are going to continue them monthly now. So we're very excited to be able to do that. So we're grateful, so grateful. So with that gratitude, I'm going to invite up Michelle LeMay, one of our board members, who is going to give us all the wonderful things that are happening at Center for Spiritual Living this next couple of weeks. Michelle?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Wow, we've got a lot going on with the holidays, but I do want to mention we still have our bookstore going on. You've also seen some extra things happening. That's going to be for after the service. So if you were to get up perhaps to get water or coffee, which of course hopefully you've already done that, do not look at the rest of the goodies. That's for after the service, and there is a guardian that will be there. She will take you down. And that would be Roseanne. But in saying that, please stay after, and it's an opportunity for some of our members to share the arts and crafts that they make and they create, and it's an opportunity for all of you to find some gifts for some friends or yourself. So please stay after. We always have fellowship, but we're doing this special just since it's right before Christmas, a little elves workshop. So please stay for that. And then tomorrow night we're having Christmas caroling, and that's going to be very exciting. It sounds like there's quite a large group that's already signed up to go, and you do need to sign up and have your email address, because that is how you're going to find out where the Reverends live. So they live up in Kaua'i, but Kaua'i's pretty big, so you don't want to be wandering around looking for a group of people singing. And it's going to start at 6, from 6 to 8:30, and again, that's tomorrow night. And I believe Carrie's going to be there with her guitar. Yeah, so Carrie's going to be providing music and serenading as you guys all go through the neighborhood. And then for actual Christmas Eve service, we are going to be having a candlelight service here on Thursday evening. That's going to be from 5 to 6. And it's going to be in regards to celebrating the idea of the spirit of the season. We had a couple of questions about it being Christian in nature, and it's really not. It's more about music and meditation and some readings and some messages, and just a way for all of us to celebrate as an ohana. Many of us don't actually have our biological families here, so it's a way to come together and gather and still celebrate and feel a part of and feel loved. And so that's going to be on Thursday from 5 to 6 right here at the center. And of course that'll be with music with Michael and Carrie, and the Reverends will have a special message for us. In regards to January, I did not say, so it's a treat. We are bringing a treat. Okay, so for Thursday, if you want to bring a treat or a poo-poo for fellowship afterwards, for caroling.
That's tomorrow.
Yes, so tomorrow. We had to go back, and I didn't know we went back. So for tomorrow, if you want to bring a snack to the Reverend's house for the caroling, but not the service. Okay. I'm sure everybody's feasting after the service anyways, in their own way. Yeah, one day at a time, I know, just one day at a time. And then we have lots coming up in January, and I'm only going to highlight a few things because we definitely want you to be having these dates in your mind. So January 10th, we are going to be having a huge party, and I mean huge. And it's going to be at the Lidgate Pavilion, the big pavilion, and the reason for it is twofold. We are going to be in the middle of a retreat that's called the Sacred Journey, and we are celebrating about 26 people who are coming from Canada and the mainland to be on a retreat that CSL is hosting. There'll be other events along with that, but we want to put out there about the party because it's not going to be here. So we want to start spreading the word that's going to be at the big pavilion at Lidgate. It will be a party. And then one of the most important parts of that is actually going to be the special celebration of the ordination of Reverends Patrick and Rita. So that is a huge deal. So please make sure you have that on your books and potluck. You'll be hearing more about it, but we, again, just want to have you have that in your mind. And then we will be presenting another event with Marion Roy, who's sitting here in the front. If you don't mind just popping up and sorry. Marion Roy's a friend of mine. Marion Ed. So Marion will be doing a workshop on the 22nd called Joyful Tai Chi Dance. So we'll be sharing more as we go along. And then of course, Marion's always available if you want to ask her personally. And that's going to be here on the 22nd. And there is a sign-up sheet for that as well. Great. We are still doing the food drive. It's wrapping up today, so if you had anything that you wanted to donate for the food bank or any money, you can do so. It's just a way for the center to come together and support. We, of course, have our Christmas tree, so if you still hadn't put an ornament but would like to for the service at the, for our candlelight service, please feel free to bring that as well. All right, thank you so much for your attention and enjoy the service.
Goes up and down, up and down. It's good, at least. Okay, so what we like to do is have a moment before service starts to just center ourselves, you know, kind of let go of everything that came before so we can be present right here and right now, present and ready to receive. And we like to, every Sunday, for those of you who have not been here before, to light this candle to remind us of peace. Peace that begins within each one of us, and then from there radiates out into our communities and into our world. So we just remind ourselves of that every Sunday at this time. So if you want to just take a beautiful deep breath, and just feel yourself sink into your chair, just let it go. Just for a moment, allow yourself this time of just quiet, this time of just knowing that you're just here and now, and that all that matters is here and now. So you can breathe easy because the universe is supporting every part of your life right here. It's okay to let go for a moment. And Ernest Holmes once wrote, "There is a place in the mentality, in the heights of its greatest realizations, where it throws itself with complete abandonment into the very center of the universe." So let's just throw ourselves with complete abandonment to the very center of the universe. There is a place in the mentality, in the heights of its greatest realizations, where it throws itself with complete abandonment into the very center of the universe. What I know about that right here and right now is that very center of the universe is right where we are. It's everywhere, in and through everything, and through everyone. All of it in its totality is right where we are, that power, that love, that energy, that source that we can always call on no matter what. And I know that today we throw ourselves with complete abandonment into that center, that highest part of ourselves, as we bring ourselves here to this moment together, to this service called Center for Spiritual Living Kauai Celebration Service. We are each here on purpose. We are each here to be lifted up. And I know that as we continue in the service today, we are lifted up. That our consciousness is lifted up throughout this time together with music and song and community. I give great gratitude for this time, for each of us here who have showed up. And for those that can't be with us, sending a blessing out to them, knowing that they are in that perfect, perfect place. So I know everything just unfolds perfectly, from moment to moment to moment to moment, for the highest good of all. As I, with great gratitude in my heart, release this word, I release it into and as law, as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. Mahalo. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. So, let's just wiggle our toes a little bit.
Christmas week,
Wake
yes,
up a little
or
bit.
holiday week, or whatever you want to call this week. Celebration week, how about that?
Yes.
Yes? Yes?
So there's a few more people coming through the door. Yay. The man with the cream is here. In case you were missing it.
We had a cream crisis
We had a cream crisis this morning.
If that's the only crisis
Ron.
we ever have, we're in good shape.
Yeah. Yay for Ron.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's give it up for Ron. Thank you, Ron.
He's valid.
For the person who drinks it black, I'm okay with how
So anyway, here you are. You're in a Center for Spiritual Living, and where we practice the science of mind and spirit, and which is a philosophy of love, knowing that God, power, light, energy, source is present in and through everything, just like I said in my opening treatment, and that we are here to celebrate that and to lift our consciousness to the highest place so that we can think from that place and project that out into our experience. That's what we do. So I welcome you to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai.
And who's here for the first time? I know there's more than that. Yeah, I saw you all sneaking in there. They'll never know. I know. No, yeah, good. Well, welcome, first of all. But the reason we had you raise your hand is because we just wanted to stare at you. And also to let you know that we found out something about you that we wanted to share with everyone during this holiday season especially. Shall we let them know now? Yeah, okay. You are magnificent! You already knew that, right? Yeah. I thought so. He's like, tell me something I don't know. So anyway, the only reason we know that about you is because we know that about ourselves. As we say every week, we cannot know love, we cannot know any of it if we don't know it about ourselves. So, shall we all together? I am magnificent! Ah, feels good. Now look to your left or right. Tell somebody that they're magnificent. You're magnificent.
You're
We did.
All right.
There's that buzz in the air today. Can you feel it? It's like something's bubbling up, all that joy, all that good.
Santa Claus is coming.
Indeed.
Yeah!
Santa Claus is coming to town. Or he's already here.
Maybe.
She might already be here. So, here we go. Shall we open up this? Let's stand up. Let's have a good time. Let's work ourselves out today.
Work it. If you guys look at your programs, there's the opening song. That's the song we're about to sing. Please ignore anything in parentheses. Let's sing this one straight through. Alright, you guys ready to shine? The slow, ignore it. It's in parentheses, ignore it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Shine, shine, shine. Shine your light. You are light, so let it shine, shine, shine. Golden light, rainbow light, black and white, let it shine, shine, shine. Let your voice, let your radiance, let it be free, let it shine, shine, shine. Freedom is, freedom is, freedom is inside, so let it shine, shine, shine. If your light has been stored inside, let your light see my light. Let it shine, shine, shine. Shine, shine, shine. Shine your light. You are light, so let it shine, shine, shine. Golden light, rainbow light, black and white, let it shine, shine, shine. Let your voice, let your voice, let your radiance, let it free, let it shine, shine, shine. Freedom is, freedom is, freedom is inside, so let it shine, shine, shine. But if your light has been stored inside, let your light see my light, let it shine, shine, shine. But shining is your birthright, so let it shine, shine, shine.
Yeah. All right. Let it shine. Jeremy says he's going to say something. Well, we kind of mixed it all up today. Welcome, welcome. Still feeling that energetic, wonderful, wonderful spirit running through us as us. So I have a reading today, and it is from Sherry Teal, who lives in Auburn, and she usually, with her husband Tom, who they are also a member, they're usually watching. So just say, hey Sherry and Tom, aloha. Hey, aloha. There we go. Because I read something that she wrote, and I thought it would be perfect. And I read it at the Interfaith Council meeting party we had on Friday. And I thought, this is just the perfect thing. So, without further ado, it's called Ode to My Ficus Tree. O Christmas tree, O Christmas tree, wherefore art thee? Choose me, says spindly ficus tree. I know there is some beauty within me. Poor ficus has struggled all year long through many, many seasons to grow more leafy branches and to thrive with a healthy glow. Alas, her wishes have not produced good results. She tries each year to do what she can, but sadly she still looks like what a health club would ban. That would be health club. We all would, it's different. One Christmas, her keeper said, "I know you are beautiful deep down inside. Let me show you how much you are loved. Just step aside." Now adorned with crimson garlands sparkling, with cherished ornaments from years gone by, with twinkling lights to brighten up her eyes, a magnificent Christmas tree did emerge. All that was needed she had inside. It just took her keeper to dress her with pride. Now she stands so elegantly, a beautiful ficus she surely is. A symbol of beautifying grace, she brightens the room, whispering a message to all to realize perfection and beauty within. It was always there, just needed a friend who believed in the truth of me. Merry Christmas from one ficus tree to another. Yes. Yeah. During this season, it's one of those times that we have to just remember really what's going on the inside. And to those who forget, we need to remind them and to adorn them with what maybe they forgot. And that's the ornaments of love, always. So what I have is an affirmation for us. I'll say it first, and then you can say it with me. I recognize and celebrate the beauty within me, now and always. Recognize and celebrate the beauty within me, now and always. One more time. I recognize and celebrate the beauty within me, now and always. And taking just this moment to take that beauty that is always there, that power, that spirit, that buzz of energy that is our very essence. And what I know and recognize is what's beyond the ficus tree, what's beyond it within the flesh, the glory of good, the glory of God. So we celebrate that here today. We have come together on purpose to just celebrate our magnificence, to always remember that there is a light shining. And no matter how big or small that light appears, behind it is all light, all love, all peace. So what I know is that today is a celebration of truth, a celebration of what they call the season of light, which if we dig real deep, we'll know that that season is every breath of our life. So knowing that, I release it. I release it to the law of my being that has always said yes, will always say yes. And we just release it. We let it go with such mahalo in our hearts as together we say. And so it is. Yes, Rita? Yes. Rita, Andriello. Yeah, there was like that pause. Did you know that? What's happening? There we go. It's all yours.
So this song is for everyone who might feel like they're looking for something, whether it's Christmas or anything. Just take a deep breath with me. Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you? Why have you gone away? Where is the laughter you used to bring me. Why can't I hear music play? My world is changing, I'm rearranging. Does that mean Christmas changes too? Where are you, Christmas? Do you remember the one you used to know? I'm not the same one. See what the time's done. Is that why you have let me go? Christmas is here everywhere. Christmas is here if you care. If there is love in your heart and your mind, you will find it's Christmas all the time. I feel you, Christmas. I know I found you. You never fade away. The joy of Christmas is here inside us, fills each and every heart with love. Where are you, Christmas? Fill your heart with okay, so this song meant a lot to me. Not because I could sing it like Faith Hill or Mariah Carey, because I can't. But I can sing it like Rita. And that's where I want to start my talk, because I'll just go start with the metaphor of my voice. I grew up as singing opera and singing musical theater as a high soprano, and that's the way I sang. I mean, from the time I was a little girl, I imitated Julie Andrews, and that was the way I thought I should sing. And even though I'm now a lot older, I still think I'm supposed to sing like Julie Andrews, and sometimes I can sound like a little crazy. And people go, "Why do you still sound like Julie Andrews?" I don't think I did today, but because I'm trying to get over it. But the point is, there came a point in my life, singing was very natural to me. I just sang. I mean, I took lessons and everything, and I always felt good about my voice and how it sounded. But then what happened is, at some point when music started to get a little bit more raucous, because I grew up in the 60s and started singing actually in the 70s and 80s, and now music's gotten a little more raucous, and now women sing with these deep belty voices, and I can't do that. I mean, I've tried, but it just doesn't work with my voice. But it's been oh, that's the way you should sing, that's the way you should sing, and I could never find my voice because I would keep trying to sing a way that wasn't natural to me. So when I went to pick this song yesterday, I was so frustrated because I was oh, I have to sing it like Faith Hill. I have to do it this way. And I kept listening to different recordings of it, and down to 7-year-olds singing it, and they were imitating her. And I was like, I should be able to do that. And I thought, does anybody sing it differently? And I could not find one person on that whole Google search that I did yesterday, I was crying too, that would sing it in a different way than that. So I thought, okay, but when I woke up this morning, what I got was, Rita, just sing it your way. Just sing it your way. And so anyway, and I think that this is true for everything. It's true for Christmas. It's true for everything. I mean, there is a way that we have, each of us individually, of doing things. That's our divine expression. And it might not be the same as everybody else's. We might, not be the same grandparents that other grandparents are. I know I'm not. We might not be the same mother or father that somebody else is, or husband or wife or whatever, but we're our own self. And I always believe there's always someone and something for everyone, if we'll just be true to ourselves. And it's not always easy, because sometimes the world doesn't approve of us the way we are. They want us to fit the mold, like Faith Hill. They want us to sound like Faith Hill, and I can't sound. We can't be. What we're going to be is, we're not going to be very good if we try to be somebody else. Because what happens? We end up pretty much unhappy if we are, until we follow our true self. This weekend we watched the film It's a Wonderful Life, and I always loved that film. But this time when I watched it, I said, this is really a depressing film. I said, why was I getting so upset? No. And maybe it's because of where I was at. You know, when we watch things, that's why Universal books and movies and things like that are so good, because we watch them from where we're at. And I believe that George Bailey was following his path with what he was doing, but all I kept seeing was him giving up what he wanted for someone else. That's what I kept seeing. And so, I was watching Parenthood the other night episode, and the kid called his mother selfish because she wanted to sell her house. And she's telling him she read the role. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's still the same thing. We're all our unique thing. I'm not the stereotype cookie cutter anything, and neither are any of you. That's the whole point of this philosophy, is to remind us that we are unique expressions of the one source. Unique. Nobody can do it like we can. Nobody can do Christmas like we can. Nobody can do anything like we can. And I think the moment that we will open up and accept ourselves and love ourselves for who we are, and let that love out and let that love shine, we'll see a whole new world for ourselves. I don't know about you, but I don't want to come to the end of my life and say, I didn't let my light shine. I want to let it all out, whether anybody likes it or not. Ministers don't wear dresses like this, but I do. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know a few ministers that would probably go, Rita, what are you doing? Well, I don't really care. I always use the excuse, I live in Kauai, so I can wear what I want, and I can take my shoes off, and so can all we. We can live our lives the way we want to live it. We can have whatever we want to have if we will throw ourselves, like that first quote said, into the universe with abandonment. Throw itself with complete abandonment into the very center of the universe. It's there to support us, but it's there to support us, our individuality, not us trying to be something else. So let it out, let it shine, and that's what I have to say. Aloha. So we're mixing things up today. So now we're going to turn the time over to Jeremy and Amy for their song. So,
Aloha, good morning, everyone. So that word audiate, you got to think the music a little bit. Peace, peace, peace on earth and good will to all.
Now is the time for love. Now is the time for peace. So let us all sing together in peace, peace, peace on earth. Silence, peace, peace on earth, and God is will to all is now is the round yon Virgin Mother and Child. Now is the holy infant, so tender and so let us sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace on earth. Kaua'i, o kamahao, maruhia, malama, kamakuahi ne aloha keki he molele Oi me kamaruhia lani Moi me kamaruhia lani Kaua'i, o kamahao Kaua'i ne aloha. Keki he molele. Oi me kamaruhia lani. Oi me
Wow, I'm just pulling this up from the shelf. Well, after who was here last week? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he played me a little song when I walked in today, but we all remember a little bit of that, but we ain't going, what is that? Oh yeah, if you missed it, it's too bad. Because it's not going to happen again, but you can go on our website. It was the whole talk about a boy named Sue. And I was asked today, who would I be channeling today? And I just want to let everyone know that like Rita, I'm just going to be me. It was going to be Carol Channing, but I decided that perhaps that wasn't the exact time. Who knows? She might pop out at any time. So I wanted to read something. I usually don't read this much, but I got something else that came to me from our fellow minister in San Diego, Reverend Federley, if any of you, yeah. And he sent something, and I asked him if I could have permission to read it. I figure on Facebook, it's pretty much that gives you the permission right off the bat, but I still am a polite man. And he wrote this about his daughter, who was 14, who passed away and transitioned with leukemia at 14. But her spirit was so huge that she wrote this poem at 14 on December 1st, right before she transitioned. And I thought, just to keep you in a really high spirits, I'd read it for you. And here we go. This is what she feels about Christmas. The snow comes down, making everything a dreamy white. Creeks freeze and fountains cease their running. Trees go up and boxes come out, casting red and green shadows over everything. Inside, people are sitting by their fires, laughing and drinking hot cider. And behind closed doors, kids are whispering secrets and wrapping presents. Turkey dinners and presents under the tree, snowmen in the yard. And always behind all the excitement of Christmas and all the activity is love. Yeah, that's what she left us with. And how beautiful, I was thinking this morning, how beautiful that in life someone can leave and she's not gone. She's right here. And she's thinking, wow, I never met this guy named Reverend Patrick, but he read my poem. He read my poem. I remember as a kid, I loved it when someone read my poem, especially if it were me. But I digress. Today, because Christmas Eve is kind of that whole season of light and everything, I thought we'd talk a little bit about another, well, a lot of times people have an outside God, right? A white beard and sitting on a cloud or the North Pole or something like that, but kind of looks like who? Santa. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about Santa because how many of you believe in Santa? You really believe. Now, yeah, you have to think about it, right? Exactly. And I'm not here to say anything, but all I know about Santa is you have to be really careful about how you answer that. Because for me, Santa is very, very real. It's very much like this philosophy, right? You're asked to believe in something before you actually see it. And that's what we're asked to do about Santa. Now, I have a personal relationship with Santa. I mean, not that personal, but I have a personal relationship with him. I've played that part, not the Santa, but played the part many times. And I was the Santa on 34th Street in New York City, which we all know is the real Santa. So if you did not believe in Santa before today, need I say more? Now this is what happened with Santa. And this is the whole thing behind this idea of believing. Did you know that Santa still exists whether or not you believe it or not? You cannot ever take away belief. And I remember sitting there in Santaland, in my throne. It was very hard for me to grasp that whole kingship thing, but I was sitting there with my throne perfectly ready for all of those children, and they all believed, except for a few of those screaming children that did not always believe. They were terrified, but that's a whole nother story. Sometimes we are terrified of what the truth is. Just saying. But what really was my highlight of playing this incredible light being was the look on the parents' face. You don't wait 3 hours in a line for something you don't believe in. And I would watch their faces light up for their children, of course, because they would be looking like, could this be the one? Could this possibly be the real Santa? You ever feel like that? We create this thing, whether it be God outside of ourselves or Santa or anything else, because we want to know that someone's going to deliver for us. We want to know that deep down inside there is a delivery that is coming to and from. And we want to believe. And here's the thing. They would always say, yeah, but how does Santa get to all those houses? Right? Oh, ye of little faith. The way that Santa gets to all those houses is that he doesn't run on the same space and time thing you do. Santa is everywhere and in everything. Santa is a spirit that doesn't even, all it has to do is think. Presence around the world. And it doesn't matter whether or not what faith you are, because that spirit lies within. And I remember thinking, why is it so important to disprove him? Why are they always trying to pull my beard off? Now, you know I go everywhere different with the talk. You thought it was going to be all like warm and fuzzy? They'd be pulling at me when they're in that. Because the older brothers wanted to go in and prove that he wasn't real, so they can say, I told you so. Have you ever been a New Thought minister? That happens a lot. They want to prove that your positive stuff, it ain't real, man.
So
Pull your beard down. But this is what happens. You can pull my beard off, and it's still, the truth is unveiled always. I remember, not that I'm going to digress from Santa, but another secret of Patrick's is I used to be Spider-Man. A little thinner here, a little tighter here. Nevertheless, you want to see somebody believe in something, it was Spider-Man. And I'm going to tell you the best one, it's like the beard. It's a very tight thing, one piece zips across the thing, and you're in it. And every move you make is seen in detail, just so you'll know. But if you want to see what happens when a mask is pulled off, this is the greatest thing. I used to do a program for child abuse prevention, and where Spidey gets up and he announces to thousands of kids that before he was Spidey, that he had been abused. And you could hear a pin drop. Oh, Spidey? Spidey? And this is what happened. One time I was in the dressing room and I had unzipped it, took it off so I could smoke, of course. Oh my God! I went there for just that moment. Anyway, but that wasn't what I was doing. Anyway, I was breathing and drinking water. And oh, those years. Okay, back to the story. So then, this little kid, I had just told him that before I was Peter Parker, that they knew that I had been abused by my older friend, and that it was okay because I told someone, and it was very, very okay. And they were very, when they're superhero talk, they listened. And so all of a sudden I'm sitting there and the little boy walks in and I go, oh my God, there's no outlet, I can't go. They're just like, well, hello. Peter here, even though I'm now 35, kind of a grown-up Peter, I guess, but he looked at me and he sat down next to me and he said, I'm really sorry what happened to you. You turned out so good. And the point behind it isn't that he was giving me a compliment, giving Spider-Man. He didn't notice that the mask was off. The belief was so strong that there didn't need to be a mask. There didn't need to be a beard. There just had to be the truth of the light of the being. So in this philosophy, Santa is very real and not made up. Santa is spirit. Santa is anything that you believe, and all it takes for you to believe. And it's not too late. Why do you think he only comes to kids? Because they didn't get older and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna, oh, there's the beard, I know, he's not really on North Pole. No, they say, no. They say, oh my God, I don't even care if it's not real. If I don't believe, I ain't gonna get presents. And the presence that we're looking at is the presence of spirit. So during this holiday season, I ask us to go deep, 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 deep within ourselves, that beautiful, beautiful, childlike wonder that we will always have, that we didn't have to give it up. And I know, if you listen really close with your eyes closed, close your eyes for just a minute. And let Santa live whatever way that you want Santa to live. And know that the universal flow, good, God, life force, Santa, Buddha, whatever it is on your side. And all you have to do is believe. Say it with me. I believe. I believe. I believe. And so it is. How y'all feeling? Almost shocked, but not really. Alrighty, so this is our time of affirmative giving. And so what I know about that is that we can give because we can, and it's not only about monetary, it's not only about money, which I believe is God in action. What it's about is our consciousness. Drop that into any basket and watch what happens when you let that consciousness of spirit run through and as you. So shall we?
Shall we say our affirmation in the program and really let it sink in? Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I give freely today, knowing it returns to me abundantly.
Blessed am I, spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Blessed am I, spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Blessed am I, spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Blessed am I, spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Blessed am I, spirit am I am am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Spirit am I, Spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. All this I am.
Yes, I am this infinite spirit. I know that as each and every person in this room. I know that infinite spirit has given of itself, and I know that this gift that is given today in the form of consciousness, in the form of money, in the form of just life itself is good and goes forth to heal and prosper, as we said, and returns to us multiplied abundantly. I know that. I know that as the truth. I claim it. I announce it, and with great mahalo in my heart, I just simply release this word as law, knowing it is done, as we say together. And so it is. Yes. All right.
There you go.
I'll let you start.
All right, so let's start with Michelle, who's walking right over there, because she did two things. She did the announcements, and she was a greeter with her wonderful husband, Ron LeMay, right there. Thank you very much. And Roseanne, you do so many things. She put together the fair today, the Elves Workshop, excuse me. She put that together, and that'll be getting right after we get done with the announcements, which will be about 12:30. And so I just want to say thank you for not only that, but for the program. Since she's a board member, she just does so much, along with another part of her, is that Rob. Oh,
no!
There's so many Rons, and you have to pay them every time, except Rita says that we don't have to pay anymore.
I say no more.
So anyway, Rob, we thank you.
I ran out of quarters. Sorry.
We just call you Love. How about Love Buddy? That's all we're going to call you. So thank you for doing the live streaming and for everything you do around here as well.
And thank you to anyone who's watching. We love you, and thank you for watching and for supporting us and just being who you are.
And Marco, who not only does filming but gives massages, obviously, during the so there you go. And Loya and Stephanie. Stephanie's going to be in the bookstore. She's been really, really helpful. And Loya, who does these beautiful flowers, and Loya brings them in. And we just have so many great things here. And Michael, who jumps in as sound, and there's Carrie back there too. Where is Michael? Okay, so I don't need to know.
But I'll let him know.
No, yeah, I did it all right, personal. And I would also like to thank Roseanne, who told me during the service to turn my mic off while Rita was singing, because I was breathing and actually singing along with her. And I was like, Christmas. She's like, yeah. So we have that, and we have Jeremy and Amy. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Thank you for the Hawaii meals.
And Rita, thank you for your beautiful song as well. The one thing she didn't put in her talk was when she was getting ready for it, I said to her, stop listening to Faith. I said, have faith, but stop listening to faith. So anyway, you did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. And since there's really no one here to thank me, I'll just go ahead. It's too late. I will thank myself. I love you guys. Thank you for letting me be me. Thank you for letting me be me. Alrighty, let's close up. Now the secret's out. Spidey. All right, you ready? Everyone want to stand? Just move a little bit like Spidey. Let it go. Let it go. Shoot the web.
I give thanks for life, from my roots up to my crown. I give thanks for love that's within and all around. I give thanks for the rain, sacred waters of rebirth. I give thanks for the sun always shining on the earth. I give thanks for I am a conscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you. Come on. I give thanks for I am a conscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you.
So what I know right here and right now is that today, this moment, this magical moment of now, there is a liberation going on right in the very center of who and what we are. What I know is we've come together today to celebrate, and we have done a wonderful job doing that. Celebrating the power of who and every one of us is, and that is good, that is God, that is Santa. That is Spider-Man. And we are that kind of divine hero that is living within and as each of us, individualized perhaps, but all coming from the same one source. So let's celebrate the light of our beings right here and not just leave it in this room. Let's take it out to the streets. Let's take it out from our lives to the streets. And those of you who are traveling, I know that you are traveling wrapped in the safety of light itself. And those who are coming in to this wonderful, wonderful island are safe. Our global community is safe and sound and wrapped in the light of this season, in this moment, in every unborn moment. So with love in my heart, with love in this room, with love from this planet, I say mahalo. Say mahalo with me. Mahalo. As we release it, we let it go, knowing that we believe that it is true, as together we say, and so it is.
I give thanks for life, from my roots up to my crown. I give thanks for love that's with me and all around. I give thanks for the rain, sacred waters of rebirth. I give thanks for the sun, always shining on the earth. I give thanks for I am a conscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you. Alright, CSL Kauai, let's hear you. Mahalo.
Carry your mic. Is it okay, can I bring you outside? Last week I interviewed people just as